Hello Hokies, Jon Laaser, Tech Hall of Famer Mike Burnop, and you know the guy in the middle. He's head men's basketball coach Mike Young, and we are pleased to have some time to catch up with him because we know, Coach, as we bring you in, it's been an incredibly busy but ultimately fruitful couple of months since you were announced as head basketball coach. Just wanted to start right there. You've had to balance your time through a lot of things: staff construction, roster reconstruction, and of course getting on the floor. And buying a house. How's all that gone?
It's gone great. Not without some angst and heartburn, but to be here late June, I could not feel better about how things have transpired. We've had some, good luck. We needed some luck, but to reconstruct our roster has been challenging, but I'm convinced that we've got it right. The staff was essential. I am convinced we have that right. 9 weeks in, and to have battled and to have a staff come together and do, really, really good work for us has been, fun to watch come together, and appreciative of a lot of things. Their work, the work of our players, our current team, has been rewarding and a lot of fun as well.
Coach, talk about the roster a little bit. I know you talk about the 13 spots that you have, the slots that you have, but you got to have that balance. You can't have too young, too old. That's got to be a little bit of a challenge, especially at that late day.
Yeah, it is. Mike, you don't want a big heavy load down below and you're lacking numbers up here, and we're going to have to work through some of that. There's just no other way around it, initially, but we'll manage to get that right as we move along. I think the health of our roster is as good as it could possibly be, considering the circumstances. Excited about the kids that are here, excited about the kids that have told us they're coming to Virginia Tech. It is a lot of fun to be on the floor with the kids that are here. We'll have more of them here in second session summer school. More of our team for next year here in second semester, and we'll continue to move that along as we head into the fall.
Coach, when you recruit players to your system, and I'm excited for Hokie fans to get familiarized with the Mike Young system of playing basketball because it's more freedom-based, it's more read and react-based.
Yeah.
And when you're recruiting guys, what are you looking for specifically in terms of that mentality, because you need leaders on the floor at more spots than maybe traditional systems do?
Character first, John, always good guys that are about the right things. Guys that can shoot the basketball have been and always will be important to me. Guys that can think, that can be difficult to evaluate. Guys that can handle the ball, pass the ball. That sounds like pretty elementary stuff, but those are things that we consider and evaluate during that process. Guys that want to be at Virginia Tech, guys that like me are passionate to be here and be a part of something really special. I don't think there's any substitute for guys that have a high basketball IQ and guys that could shoot the thing. That's what appeals to me, and we will not deviate from that as we go along.
Coach, you've been here 2.5 months, so what's been your biggest surprise? Be it a player, a leader, somebody emerged, whatever. Biggest surprise?
Oh gosh, Mike, there's been a lot of things. I think I left here 30 years ago. Now, folks are still in the area, but I haven't been to a game here, and my team played here in 2002, I think it was, maybe 2003. But having been here, 2.5 months, over a 30-year period, the passion of this fan base is incredible and exciting. Has been a lot of fun, and I've so enjoyed getting to know people, and that will continue as we move along. The character and the makeup of the kids that were here when I got here, I've enjoyed getting to know them. I've enjoyed getting on the floor with them, their work habits and their willingness to, change gears a little bit, if you will. That's been a lot of fun for me as well.
Coach, I think sometimes to stay there with the guys that do come back to this team, we fall into the trap of Justin Robinson's not here, Nickeil Alexander-Walker's not here, but you have guys that were in more of a role player type aspect that have gigantic opportunities to open up. What do you see for some of those guys like an Isaiah Wilkins and a Wabi Sabiti and a Landers Nolly who hasn't officially played?
Yeah, well, I mean, you talk about the health of the program, and we'll work through some things there, but if your roster's where it should be, you're always losing 2 or 3 good players. But you're coming behind those good players with other people that are ready to step into more prominent roles. And I think certainly that some of these guys are prepared to do that, are ready to do that. We got a lot of work to do now between today and November 5th or 6th, whenever we open up at Clemson. But again, I'm enjoying working with them, enjoying getting to know them. They've been receptive, they've worked hard, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so.
Coach, in a perfect world, maybe talk about your philosophy, how you'd like to play. I know first and foremost, you're no different than Coach Fuente. It's all about taking care of the basketball, turnovers. I know that's on the top of your list, but talk about your philosophy in a perfect world.
Offensively, great shot selection, sharing the ball. Turnovers kill me. If you ever see me fall to the floor out there on the sideline, it will be because of a turnover. My teams are typically ranked nationally in assist turnover ratio. You'd like for that to be 2 to 1. That's not easy. But we talk about playing the right way, and there are different ways to define playing the right way. To me, it is, again, the things that I've mentioned: being a great teammate, getting a great shot every time down the floor, really getting after the offensive glass. Now, conversely, on the other end, I've always been a big man-to-man guy. I'm not a very good zone coach. I'll be honest with you. I think we maybe played 5 possessions of zone all last year. I like the accountability. I like how our teams have played on that end of the floor. We'll get these guys. This was a good defensive team a year ago. Those guys, certainly understand what they're doing. And limiting teams to 1 shot is essential. If you're giving up second and third opportunities, that second one usually hits the bottom of the basket. Certainly that third one will. So it's a little thumbnail sketch.
Coach, I've caught a couple of sections of your early practices with the guys, and you really emphasized transition defense and said, we're going to do this, guys, every day. Yeah. Why is that so fundamental to what you want to do?
As it's an effort thing. It's first 3 steps after that ball comes off the iron or goes through the net, and getting your defense set. And it's hard to play transition defense in transition, and so many teams all across college basketball really want to run that thing at you. And I think that's still the hardest thing for a defense to defend, are teams that can really move in transition, can space the floor. You'll hear me say 1,000 times, we cannot give up layups, we cannot give up threes in transition. I do think it sets the tone for that particular defensive possession. There may be 70 or 60 in a game, but that transition defense, getting back to that end of the floor, getting set, and kind of sets the tone for it. Now, if you're playing 5-on-5, you got a better shot at getting a stop.
Coach, how about the schedule? Talk a little bit about that. Obviously not out yet, but 2 more league games, a trip to Maui with the tough schedule there and whatnot. Just kind of touch on that, your thoughts.
Well, fortunately, the schedule was done when I got here. We'll play 2 ACC games. I think 1 on the road, 1 at home before Christmas, which I'm not a big fan of. But if you're going to play 20 league games, you're going to have to get 2 in there in December. I think certainly with the Maui experience and the other non-conference games, it's a fair schedule. Fair in terms of this team returning a year from now, and will prepare us for, league play in the best basketball conference that the country has to offer. I'm excited about it. A lot of times people walk into jobs and that schedule's all over the place. Either it's really, really hard, or you've got 10 slots to fill. But we walked in, it was done, and that was appreciated, and thankful that that's what we had.
All right, enough basketball with head basketball coach Mike Young. Let's get into some of the more fun stuff. Coach, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Mike's actually not in the Hall of Fame here at Virginia Tech for football or broadcasting. He's actually in there for eating. And one of the other things that I've noticed is you're kind of on a one-man lunching caravan since you got to Blacksburg. How has it been? You've really made a conscious effort to get out in the community.
I have. I can't cook a lick. And my wife and kids are not going to be here until late July, so it's not doing a lot for my waistline, nor is it yours, Burnop. But I have enjoyed, and getting out into the community, seeing different people. As you can tell, there are a number of restaurants in Blacksburg that I have a fondness for. But it'll be great. It'll be great to get my family up here.
Yeah, talk about your family. Tell us about your family a little bit.
I outkicked my coverage, you could say, with Margaret. She is a audit partner with Price Waterhouse, has been with them for many, many years now. Our daughter, Cooper, is a junior at the University of the South, Sewanee. And my guy, Davis, will hopefully be playing golf at Blacksburg High School. You'll see him out at the country club a lot, swinging that thing around. His old man's never played a day in his life, but they're fun. I can't mention my favorite member of the family, our dog, Alley-Oop.
What a great name.
Great name, great name. We look forward to having them up soon. Look forward to them being around, everyone here.
Well, Coach, it's been fun watching the initial steps in this journey that will become the new era of men's basketball here in Blacksburg. Thanks so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
John, thanks, buddy.
And Hokies will obviously continue to chronicle that as the pieces get put into place for the inaugural campaign under head coach Mike Young.